For this recipe, you will need a large pot. Go ahead and put about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the bottom. And we are going to use some turkey kielbasa, turkey smoked sausage. You can use beef smoked sausage if you would like. You could even use ham. You can use bacon. You can use breakfast sausage. That's what my mom does. But I have to use turkey sausage because I have the alpha-gal syndrome. And if you have the alpha-gal syndrome, I just want you to know that I can eat this. Hopefully you can too. Go ahead and turn your stovetop eye or your burner on to about a medium heat. We are just going to cook this smoked sausage long enough to brown it on each side. And then once you've got your smoked sausage browned, then we are going to add 1 whole yellow onion diced. And this is a large yellow onion. Turn your stovetop eye down to simmer at this point. Add 1 whole clove of garlic. Or you could use minced garlic. And if I were using minced garlic, I usually just throw in a teaspoon of minced garlic. The ratio is a half a teaspoon of minced garlic equals 1 clove. But if I were using minced garlic, I always just put a teaspoon in. Now let's give this a stir and let's add some more ingredients. Now we are going to add 1 can fire roasted of diced tomatoes. I always like to make this recipe when I have leftover white beans, and I did. And if you don't have any leftover white beans, then you can add 2 cans of white beans to this. You can even add 3 cans if you want to, but typically I'll add 2 cans. Add 1 teaspoon of oregano. That's normally what I add, but my husband absolutely loves oregano, so I decided to throw in 2 teaspoons this time, and it turned out really great. But you want at least 1 teaspoon of oregano. Now we are going to add about 3 to 3.5 cups of chicken broth. Y'all, I have been making this recipe for a good 25 years. This cabbage soup is just really honestly so versatile, as with a lot of soups. But again, you can add whatever kind of meats you want to this. But it's always so good, y'all, with fried cornbread. Now we're going to let this cook for about 10 minutes on simmer so those flavors just all blend together. And then we are going to add our cabbage. You are going to need at least 3 cups of cubed cabbage, and I'm just using a half a head of cabbage here. That comes out to about the same, depending on the head of cabbage. But then we are going to add some pepper to this, lots and lots of pepper, and our last ingredient, bay leaves. Now let's talk about these bay leaves. Okay, I'm going to find a little hole in my cabbage and drop that bay leaf in there. You're going to need 3 bay leaves, sometimes 2, depending on the size, but 2 to 3 bay leaves. And I always find a little hole, lay it right on top. Do not take your spoon and mash it into your soup. And here's the reason why. Because we are going to have to take those bay leaves out. Because you do not want to ingest bay leaves. They can damage your GI tract, and also they're a choking hazard. So you do not want to have a trip to the doctor's office or the emergency room. And sometimes you still have to go fishing for them. I have spent a good 5 minutes trying to find my bay leaf in my soup, but again, you want to make sure you find them. I always try to remember where I put them. That makes it so much easier. Then let's give this cabbage soup one last stir, and voila, this is ready to be served. And if you're a cabbage lover like my husband and I, you are going to love this soup. It has definitely been a go-to recipe in my family for a very long time. I hope y'all enjoyed this recipe, and y'all be good.